I am the executive director of the Center for the Healing of Racism. We wanted to have a way to give people a voice so that we could come together.
I've worked in government for over 40 years now. On September 9, 2013, I needed several hundred units of plasma because I was able to be gifted with that amount of blood. I have been paying it forward by doing blood drives. In addition to that, I founded a nonprofit called One Body Networking.
I'm very involved in the community. I'm very involved in higher education, and specifically trying to increase the number of minority lawyers in the state and in the country.
I'm the president of Greater Third Ward Super Neighborhood number 67. I'm also the co-founder of Operation Love, which is a nonprofit that is geared toward Blackshear Elementary in Third Ward to preserve and increase the viability of that elementary school.
The work that I'm doing presently is Olivewood Cemetery. Our work as descendants of Olivewood, we're the guardians of the cemetery, and we have been working to preserve, restore, and protect the cemetery.
I'm what I like to call an activist, organizer, all-around angelic troublemaker. I've been an activist in the LGBTQ+ education space for the last 20 years.
I'm the CEO and publisher of Forward Times newspaper, the proud daughter of Julius Carter and Lenora Carter, who are the founders and owners of Forward Times Publishing Company. The Forward Times newspaper is a vehicle that my father founded in 1960. He started the paper because the African American community needed a positive newspaper that told our stories.
I live in the Hiram Clark Five Corners area. I'm presently chairman of the Five Corners Group, and I'm also chairman of the South Houston Concerned Citizens Coalition. We're just trying to make sure that we keep it clean, safe, and enterprising.
I serve as one of the executive pastors at Inspire Church, and it's a thriving community of Christian believers.
My reaction to being nominated was a surprise. I really don't do this work for recognition.
I really feel vindicated and acknowledged.
Thank you. You know, that means that my work is being recognized. And then to have Commissioner Ellis, who's a really great person to know, yeah, it was pretty special.
I'm happy to receive it and thankful that I'm blessed enough to be recognized by someone in the county, especially the commissioner.
The work has been long and it's been hard, but there have been those joyous times as well. So to be thought of and to be bestowed this nomination is beautiful.
My initial reaction was being surprised, to be honest, just because of the fact that I consider myself to be still very much in the work, but very humbled and honored because when we do this work, we don't do it for the recognition. We do it because we believe in our vision and we believe in advancing our community.
Thank God that I've lived long enough to be considered a living legend, but definitely I'm honored for the recognition.
I don't look for awards and I don't worry about them, but just like everybody else, I was surprised. I didn't have any idea. And I just think the commissioner and this precinct 1 and the people that work here, I know a lot of them, thanking them for, for recommending me.
My initial reaction to being nominated was surprise. One, because I always tell the leaders that I serve with, don't do anything for recognition. Always do it invisible so that the service that you do can be seen.
One of my really close friends, she's very white and very blonde. She was the one that came up to me and said, "Cherry, I've been hearing a lot of things in the news around racism, and we really need to do something about racism." I said to her, "I don't want to do anything about racism." She asked me the question, "Why is it You've never felt safe enough with me to tell me how life really is for you as a person of African descent in this country. And that was the defining moment.
The illness that I had is a rare blood disease called TTP. What it means is that the blood depletes out of the body. The fact that I was able to take something and to share it with others by paying it forward. A lot of people don't know that one donor saves 3 lives. So can you imagine every time you donate blood that you're saving 3 extra lives?
I was in a seminar put together by the Dean of Women. But on the first day of class, she asked us to explain more about how we got to Texas Southern. And at the end of that experience, I realized only one of them came to Texas Southern as a first choice. And so I committed myself then to spending my life making Texas Southern University the greatest university in the world.
My dad, he was ex-military, so while everybody else was having a little good time playing and enjoying themselves, we had to get up and have PT time. That was jumping jacks and duck walk and all of those things. And then after that, we had to get up and cut the grass. My dad was all about having your vote, being able to vote. That was your right. I think those moments from my dad teaching us to be civic-minded, those are the moments that I think about that led me to do this work.
I have had cancer 3 times in my life. I have experienced discrimination for being black, discrimination for being same-gender loving queer person. So all of those experiences have put me on this path because I know what it feels like to be discarded. And I knew that I don't want anyone else to feel that way.
Just honoring my parents, watching my mother for so many years after my father died and ran the paper by herself. And so when I graduated, then I saw that she needed me. So I think watching her work so hard for so many years in a male-dominated business at the time just inspired me to want to not walk off from a business that had taken care of me all my life.
I went over to my community. I went to a few meetings, civic club meetings. I think I want to do that. And once I was elected, I've been on a roll. I've been doing it ever since.
The one thing that I can quickly remember that inspired me the most was watching my mother. There was always a quiet knock on our door in our community, which meant that people were coming by to pick up food, and they knew that they could come to the house and get food. And so over the years, I've always watched my mom with her hands open and giving supplies to the needy.
I wake up every morning with one thing on mind, and that is to do another workshop. To be able to connect those little children to our common humanity.
My service to the community has really rewarding, and it's a part of who I am. You have to have it in your heart.
My father was very active. He worked really, really hard, long hours, but he was always participating in community-based activities. Because it was important to him, it became important to me.
It's about love. It's about loving your neighbor. It's about loving your enemy. It's about love.
I kept hearing my mom talk about Olivewood and my aunts and them, my grandmother that passed. They kept saying where my grandfather was buried, and they kept saying it was just overgrown and never taken care of. And my mother took me out to Olivewood, and she said, well, welcome to Olivewood. And I was like, where? It was in deplorable condition. Somebody needs to do this. Somebody needs to do this work.
Until we all have the equal ability to be able to be and breathe, there's still going to be work to do.
I always go back to my parents. What they instilled in us, what our role was in this community, and how important it was to tell our stories in our community.
What motivates me is that there are always people that will have a need, and I always want to be able to be there for them.
What I would say to everyone is to find a way to really have the conversation around not just the good stuff, But let's walk through, because a lot of times it's said, the way out of the pain is in the pain. Go through the pain together and come out whole.
Be humble. Just be humble and serve.
Whatever you decide to do in life, be better than everybody else that's doing the same thing.
Get with somebody with experience that has gained wisdom by making mistakes. Listen to them. And then, as opposed to starting from the very beginning, that way you can pick up where they left off.
Be true to yourself. Know that you can't do this by yourself. It takes a village, as they say. Align yourself with people, like-minded people who would like to do this work.
You have to trust in your own vision. So use me as an example, but then please build upon what it is that I have done, what others have done who have inspired you, and do it in your own unique way, because we do need all of us to be committed in this work.
I'm a second-generation publisher. My daughter, Chelsea, is now coming up as the new associate publisher, and watching her every day go through a lot of the things that I went through. I just told her recently that it's nothing that you've gone through that I haven't been through, that I don't feel and I don't understand. And I think now she has clicked on to that, because it's tough, but to watch her carry on the legacy of my parents and me, it's a good feeling.
You have to have a love for it. You have to have a calling, in a sense. Say, hey, this is what I want to do, and when you wake up in the morning, you said, I need to go do A, B, C, D. And of course you have some goals that you want to reach, and you end up working on them.
I would tell any leader, be prepared, keep your hands open, never hoard what you get, always be ready to give it on to the next person in need.
My husband's white, blonde, and blue-eyed. My husband's an Austrian. My husband came to this country not speaking English. People look at him and automatically assume, because you look like me, I could tell you all of these negative things. So I want to thank my husband for going through this and then bringing it home and letting me know, which have provided a lot of the materials that I use in the work that I do.
I do want to thank Commissioner Rodney Ellis and his staff for allowing me an opportunity to just be able to share the work that I've done.
I like to thank my parents. I think I had two of the best parents in the world. So, they made it possible for me to be where I am. And, they provided the kind of leadership that I think was necessary to help me understand that it's not just important in life to think of yourself, but it's extremely important in life to think of other people.
I want to thank my wife, Dolores. I'm not the most talented man in the world, but when I look around and see how blessed I am with my wife and my two daughters, they're just amazing. I also want to thank the Super Neighborhood 67 board officers. I want to thank the Faith in Action community, the staff at Blackshear Elementary, who embraced Operation Love from day one, especially former principal Alicia Lewis and Mr. Lee, who nourished it in the very beginning. I want to thank Third Ward itself. The community has given me more than I could ever give back. The motto of Operation Love says it best: we love because he first loved us.
I think my mom, without her thinking about Olivewood and about her father and his resting place and where her brothers are buried, I thank her for just not giving up. I thank my dad, he's passed away, but I thank him for just instilling in me to be a community-minded person.
There's so many people that I would like to thank that poured so much into me. They're no longer here, but it's just so many editors and writers, but I would also like to thank the people who are there now, who help us to continue the legacy. Anyone that has contributed to the paper, anyone that we have written about, covered your families, covered your stories, good or bad. I'd just like to thank the community for still supporting us.
They say women rule the world. Well, my two women in my life, my mom and my wife Phyllis, are paramount in my life. So I'd like to thank both of them and my sisters and brothers. And lastly, my church pastor, Pastor Hurd. Dr. Hurd has skillfully navigated me to become the pastor that I am.
Definitely want to thank all of the different organizations that I work with, the Houston LGBTQ+ Political Caucus, the Harris County LGBTQIA+ Commission, all the board members affiliated with those organizations, because we all collectively do this work together. Definitely want to thank my strong family and chosen family who have been huge supporters of me and allowed me to be my full unapologetic self to go out there and do the work, and to remind everyone that we have to know each other. We have got to continue to get to know each other, because when we get to know each other, it makes it that much harder to dehumanize each other. So let's keep getting to know each other, keep loving one another, and let's keep doing this amazing work together.